How's it going, guys? It's Najam back again with another video, and today I'm gonna do my final verdict on the Toshiba Click Mini laptop 2-in-1 tablet thingamajig, hybrid, whatever you want to call it. So this is the Toshiba Click Mini. Now I heard that it comes in two models actually. One I've actually seen the touch bar, the keyboard is a tiny bit different, but essentially it's exactly the same thing. Now of course, before we even get into this, I'm just going to demonstrate something for you guys. Just going to go ahead and turn it on. Now obviously I'm using my action cam to record, but there's actually a good reason. Now this is just a final verdict, it's not a complete review or anything. Just going to go ahead and log in over here. Okay, now I use this for scripting my reviews and everything. So I've got this over here. This is the Amazon Kindle, and I read my reviews on here, and I've actually got a couple of reviews written over here. And basically what I'm gonna do is what I got this thing for. I'm just gonna demonstrate how I move them over on here. So this is the dock. Now I'll talk about this separately. I just want to demonstrate this for the fun of it. I guess it'll give you a really good idea of what this thing is good for. Now it comes with a USB port, you can see over here. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and plug that in here. Gonna go ahead and turn this thing on, and obviously I might as well just go ahead and put the volume up. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put the Kindle password in, and it's connected, as you can see. So that's connected. Now what I basically do is go into my reviews folder, and I've got two reviews, I mean not reviews, final verdicts written up. One is to do with the Toshiba Click Mini, and one is about the keyboard behind there, which I will do after this video or God knows whenever. So what I'm gonna do is basically just move these over to the Amazon Kindle, and I'll just show you a quick look at these. Now these are final verdict text files. Now they're not any good in terms of detail and everything. These are just like basic notes that I use for these kind of videos, because these kind of videos, my final verdict videos, are essentially just they're just, I guess, more like live. There's no voiceovers. There's just recorded with my legendary Zoom recorder, and it's like live, so no scripting, nothing. I just talk about them. Now if you can see this, I'll go ahead and zoom in. It obviously won't be clear because I'm not recording in 4K. They're just the pros and the cons over here. Now I've done that, and I basically this is maybe gonna be a long video, I'm not sure. I plan on making these as long as I can go. So then I obviously go ahead and unplug it. So you can hear it. I didn't talk about one thing about this in the review, is the speakers. I go on my Kindle, and I go on the Click Mini final verdict, and I go to my notes over here. So these basically my notes, and I'm going to use these to talk about this. Now let's talk about the first pro. So just get straight into it. That's basically what I use it with. The first pro is the size. Now this is the Click Mini. I think it's 10.1 inch. And that is a 15-inch laptop, this black thing here, and this is just smaller than half the size. Okay, and obviously since it's small, you shouldn't really expect the best out of it, and I seriously don't. Now I normally just use this for watching videos and maybe doing a little bit of web browsing. I'm using Chrome on here, and when it comes to playing back videos on Flash, it's just really buggy and laggy, and it just can't handle it. And that's because of Chrome. It's not because of this, it's because of Chrome. So don't judge this on the laptop itself. Hardware wise, it's just perfectly fine. I mean, you shouldn't expect anything more than this for a device which is this priced. You can't expect to do any gaming on it, even though there are a tiny bit of games that do run acceptable frame rate. Like Quake 3 works perfectly fine. R Factor, which is a really old racing game, that works perfectly fine. Test Drive Unlimited, which does not work at all. Okay, I mean you can run it, but it's really laggy, it's really choppy. I don't recommend any of the AAA titles that are coming out or anything. But I did also show Minecraft. Now you can just use Optifine and optimize it and stuff, and Minecraft will work flawlessly. I've actually been playing on this. So size wise, I mean, it's a notebook. What kind of size? It's really small. It's got a 10.1 inch 1080p display. So 10.1 inch, maybe this is just a 9-inch display, I'm not sure. I didn't really read the specs over here, but it does say 8.9 in the name, so it's satellite Click Mini 8.9, so I'm guessing it's a 9-inch display. But either way, 10-inch 9-inch, pretty much the same thing. It's really tiny, so you shouldn't really have any problems fitting it in your bag. Now the second thing is battery life. Now this thing freaking rocks. Now I've got a battery life of 67% right now, and even on, well, I'll give you an example, a 720p video using this application Gunplayer, a movie which is just under 2 hours. It takes away from 99% of the first battery, just the one alone in the tablet itself, down to 67 and 66 percentage. Just gonna go ahead and take it off. So battery wise, this thing is gonna just rip off pretty much anything. It has freaking 2 batteries inside it, so I don't know what to sort of expect from in terms of battery life, because I mean it has 2 batteries in it. I can use this throughout the full day and I have no problem with it. It's a really nice battery life. Now the next thing, which is pretty much the biggest thing, and this is a kind of unusual. Now obviously I'm using it like a tablet. You can use it just as a tablet device. Obviously, like I said, I'm recording with my action cam. I'm just gonna go ahead and put it back over here onto this. This screen may just look like a typical display. Now this, I'll face it to the a little bit to the camera. Now this is an IPS display, okay, and when you normally buy a Windows tablet like this or any, because if I take this off, it's just a typical Windows tablet. It just got the ability to connect a dock, which is what makes this different, and that's really helpful. Okay, now when you buy a Windows tablet, you get an 8-inch display, mainly with the Bay Trail processor, which is a quad-core 1.8 GHz, a boost clock speed with Intel HD graphics and stuff, and you get 2 gigs of RAM, which is the same with this. But you get a display with the resolution of 1280 by 800, which is what you wouldn't find normally in laptops, I mean on tablets, Windows tablets. And this thing is different. This thing has got a display resolution of 1920 by 1200, which is whooping crazy. Now I'll show you, I've scaled everything up to 200% just so I can use it easily with my fingers as a tablet. Okay, I'm just going to go to screen resolution, and I'll do it just for this video. Now if you can read that, it does say 1920 by 1200, which is, it says recommended, so that's fine. But I'm gonna scale everything down to 100%, and I'm just gonna show you how it looks. Okay, sign out right now, and it's gonna scale everything down. Now, like I said, I'm using action cam. You will be able to see it properly, but it'll give you a good idea of what the screen resolution is, and I think it's freaking crazy. Now scaling on Windows 8 is not free. It's pretty much crap. Windows 10 has gotten better, but what's really the point? Because all these icons, all this bit is exactly the same no matter what kind of scaling you put on it. But this bit, look how small everything is. Okay, I'm gonna open, let's say open the file manager, and just look at how much space we've got over here, and look how small these are. Now I have no problem using this with just I guess just with fingers while I'm normally using it, but when you're not at a good angle and you try to press the touch screen, it can become a bit of a pain. Obviously I can still use it, like I said, it's pretty usable. Oh my god, whoa, yeah, but you know, I mean, it's touch screen. I've gotten used to Windows, okay, and I wasn't able to upgrade this to Windows 10, but I'm not going to talk about that. But you can see the resolution is freaking crazy. Look at the hotbar over here, it's just gone really tiny, and I think it's a good thing that it's a 1080p display, since it's on a tablet or something. I mean, you get a lot more space to work on, but I don't really I don't think there's much of a point. Now normally when you open a Chrome window on Windows on a 1080p display, it'll be like, I guess, around this small, I think it is, I'm not sure. No, that's on a 4K display, I don't know. So I can completely read everything perfectly fine. Obviously you can't see this, and I don't want to work with this, it's just way too small for it. But this is kind of unusual, and I really like it the way it is. You got so much space to work with. I'm just gonna sign out right now. Everything may have just gone so small, but it's completely readable, meaning it's actually a 1080p display. So I mean, it's not a joke or something, it's actually a 1080p display. Now as you can see, everything is gone big. I'll go ahead and open Chrome up now, and it's just filled up the whole screen, and it's not maximized. That basically means it's that was just the resolution. I mean, okay, whatever, the resolution on this thing is freaking sick. The viewing angles are also, you know, really good. Screen wise, I think this thing pretty much beats almost every laptop out there, even the really expensive ones, because even though it's a small screen, it has the resolution and it gives you the work space to work with, and I think that's a really good pro on this. So just so you know, one thing I also like about this is the touchpad. Now I also like the touchpad, but I've also got it on the negative side of this thing. Now the thing I like about it is that it's got gestures. If it's even gonna work, I don't know why it's not working right now. Yeah, I don't know why it's working, but it doesn't matter. You can use this for scrolling around. That's pretty usual. I'm just gonna go and go on to some kind of a page where you can actually scroll up and down, so like this. Oh, apparently it's not really loaded up or something. I guess the gestures are not working for some reason. Forget it, I don't really use them anyways. The touchpad is great. It's just a good thing to have it, you know, when you're getting Windows tablets. I don't really suggest you go for them, because Windows is a complete pain to use with just the touchscreen. I still had problems even though I scaled everything perfectly fine up to, I don't know what resolution or whatnot, on the other tablet I used to have, and even though that was better than this in terms of hardware, it was still just a pain to use. I don't know what to even say about this. Just don't get a Windows tablet. If you're looking for this thing is perfect, go for it. Okay, so those are pretty much my pros. I don't know what he's doing, maybe he's updating or something, but it's not really letting me use the gestures on the touchpad, but the buttons and everything work perfectly fine. So let's move on to the cons. The first con is charging time. Now I really don't like this. I've been having problems with this thing. Sometimes it just doesn't charge this battery, but it charges that one. Then I realize it's not connected properly, but then that leads to the hinge, the connector being a little wonky, and I don't know what's wrong with it. It seems to be, you know, perfectly fine. It clicks in and everything, but it just doesn't charge the battery inside the dock. But honestly, I don't really mind. I just stop charging and then start charging again, and it starts working for some reason. I don't know why, it's funny. Now the next thing you probably saw right now is the brightness. Now I don't know what it is. Look, I have my brightness on the lowest, and if I put it down and I open it back up, sometimes, but you probably saw, you know, it just doesn't memorize my brightness. Let's just go ahead and log in. Now look, the gestures are working. So I'll go ahead and show you on the over here. So obviously it's touch screen as well. You can but look, the gestures are working. It's really nice having the gestures. I think it just really helps with none of those things that we even do in this Windows. I mean, I don't really use it. I just use it for scrolling around, which is really nice. Not a lot of laptops have that kind of a feature. So I'll just try to demonstrate once again. It's going against me now. Funny. Maybe do this. Yeah, okay, whatever. Okay, it's not gonna do it, but the brightness sometimes is not memorized. Maybe when I detach it or something, it just turns the whole screen on by itself with full brightness. I don't know why. So I don't know what it is. Oh, it actually does this as well. Very funny. So pretty much brightness sometimes is not memorized, and I don't like it. You know, every single time I'm popping it open, it just burns my eyes out. I don't know why. It's just too bright, and the brightness is just doesn't memorize it sometimes. Now let's move on to the negative side of the touchpad. Now I'm pretty sure you guys have pretty much noticed, and everybody should know this. Touchpad is small. Okay, now for this kind of size it's just fine, but I mean it's too wide. Okay, I mean it's wide enough for it to work as you know you're moving to the side. I mean it reaches the other sides of the screen with one finger, so that's fine. But up and down is just too small. Maybe make this a square, then it would have been much better. And obviously you can change the sensitivity. I mean with using a touchpad is fine. The only problem is this touchpad is too small, and when you're doing little gestures, sometimes you don't recognize them. And these buttons are not physical buttons, they're just touchpad buttons. I mean they do click, but the touchpad covers them. Oops. So I can just do this and then just move my finger across and press it. So the buttons are just under the touch layer, so it's a little funny. Okay, now yes, they are physical buttons and everything, but you can also zoom in and zoom out. What the heck? So as you can see, it's actually doing it over there, but whatever. I do recommend just sticking a mouse in if you have that kind of option, but this touchpad is just fine for kind of backup reasons. I wouldn't really recommend it to be used as a proper touchpad, even though you need to use it or something when you're looking around text. So say I have some text written up and I want to just peek. I mean it works fine, just like pretty much any touchpad, but it's not a great touchpad. That's what I'm going to say. And the last thing which I don't like about this is the keyboard. Now for what I do and for what this thing is made for, it's fine. Okay, you're not going to be gaming on it or anything, but what if you do want to game on this? What if you want to edit videos on this? Maybe just you know, you're doing it outside, maybe you just want to try out or something. You're going to be a little disappointed, because when it comes to this as a keyboard, it's great because you can type on it just fine. I like typing on it. This is just nice, but the thing is it has too many function keys, and even though they're useful, instead of you know, why couldn't you just make another row over here and put these the F keys over here? There's something you've missed out, Toshiba, on this. I mean you tried your best, I'm pretty sure, but you just missed out on those. Now these are fine. Home key and end and page up and down are assigned to this if you press the function key, so that's completely fine. Okay, I understand that, but the F keys, wow, what on earth are they doing down here? They should be up there. Okay, and then there's these other keys for the brightness and this and that, and volume up, volume down, mute speaker and whatnot. What are they doing up there? They can be down here somewhere, you know. Maybe use these numbers and assign them to this as a function key, but instead you decide to remove the F keys and you put those as function keys, because that's wrong. These are more important. I use Alt and F4 all the time to close an application and stuff like that. It's just annoying. I use F11 to go full screen and then minimize I mean window and stuff, and I have to do this. This is fine, okay, but it's just annoying. I have to do this on that. I've got a full keyboard and I just, well, I use that keyboard obviously, but I mean it's still fine because you can just hook up an external keyboard. Okay, so I'm not gonna complain too much about it. Okay, but then when you look at this key over here, is the delete key and also the back arrow key in the same one. Is just annoying. Keyboard wise I think is fine. Another big problem with this keyboard is the fact that you can't press more than one key. Now for typing it's fine, but I'm playing Minecraft and you could see I was only walking forward then looking around. I mean it's just working. For typing it's fine, but when you're playing Minecraft or something, maybe somebody does want to do that, you're gonna have to attach another separate keyboard, so it's just annoying. I was walking forward, I pressed D and it stops walking forward, it's gonna start walking sideways only, and it's just annoying. And then this touchpad is not made for that, but this is not made for gaming. If you're gonna do some scripting, like right now I type on this, I hook this up to it and I move my file over to this, and I use this for my notes and whatever. That's I like that. Okay, that's nice. But video editing, I mean, hardware wise it's not all that good anyway, so don't try that. If you're web browsing, that's fine. I do like web browsing on this, even though I don't use it much for web browsing. Mainly I use this for watching movies on, okay, with headphones on the side. I didn't show you the ports over here. It's got a micro SD card slot, it's got the Windows home menu button key, HDMI or the headphone jack, and a micro USB for charging, and 2 stereo speakers, one on this side and one on this side. And if you connect the dock up, it's got a standard SD card slot, and it's also got a USB port over here, a standard USB 2.0 port. Oh, there we go, the brightness is on full. Didn't I tell you guys? I knew it was gonna do this. Then I have to use the brightness up and then down again to get it to the lowest brightness. But this thing has a lot of ports. If you wanna use an external monitor, you got HDMI cable. If you wanna, I mean, if you had the Toshiba Enco 8, WT8 tablet, for the Windows 8 tablet, the one of the first that ever came out, then you will be really happy with this. This thing has got all the ports that thing had. It's got a front facing camera, it's got a rear camera, it's got 2 stereo speakers which are really good for watching movies. But also you've got a headphone jack, which pretty much any other thing has, but you know, I mean, you got it. And the amp is the preamps are okay, the DAC is fine, it's loud enough and stuff, so I have no problem with that. I guess the only issue with this thing is the real issue is pretty much, I guess, the charging time, and that's the only issue I do have with this. Just takes a really long time to charge, and that can get really annoying. I have been having one problem, like I said, I just haven't been able to charge this to full because it just stops charging for some reason, and then I just keep checking. I mean, I guess it's because of me, I don't really plug in properly or something. I mean, it's got the power button and the volume key on this side as well. I forgot to show you that. Now this is a really long video, okay, so I'm gonna end this over here. My final word on this is, if you're getting a Windows tablet, this is the best choice. I got this for £79, which is under 100, which is just around $100, and this thing is running a quad-core Intel Atom Bay-Trail processor. The to be more exact is the Z3735F, which is not the best. Now the Toshiba Enco 8 tablet has the Z3740, which is actually a big difference. There's actually a big difference between this and the Z3740. I don't know why. They're exactly the same clock speed. The only difference is, I think, the GPU, I think it is. I'm not sure. That one has a new technology and stuff, so obviously that's going to be better, but they both from the same family and everything. The clock speeds are exactly the same. The only difference is that one is just a lot more efficient, and I mean, I guess it's just better. I guess I don't know why, it just works more faster than this thing. But this processor is not bad. Running watching a 1080p video is perfectly fine and stuff. You shouldn't have any problem with this thing. Get this, if you script YouTube videos, this is perfect for Word and everything. It's got a 1080p display, even though it's small. It's a small screen. Yes, you will find some things hard to read. Why not you go full brightness? But you'll get used to it, like I have, and you can also, scale things up. So I can read perfectly fine right now. I can tell the time and the day and everything. I mean, I honestly have no problem with it. So if you're gonna get this, I do highly recommend this. It's been a long video, I don't know why, but thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you again in a different video.